Hi everyone, welcome back to another episode of Out Here with your host Tom. Simple, solo, rural. We're up on the screened-in porch tonight. We got some rain coming down, a nice summer shower. We got the little propane fire pit going. Can't really see the shimmering yet. It's a little bright out yet, even though it's 9 o'clock. But today's episode is going to be slightly different. Well, I think every episode is going to be slightly different simply because I'm still finding the rhythm and what I want to talk about. But this one is really important to me. It's really near and dear to my heart. June is Men's Mental Health Month. Very, very important to me because I am a survivor of depression. There was a very, very dark time in my life when I was even suicidal. And I've come through all that for the most part. And I still battle a little bit of high-functioning depression every now and then, as well as definitely the winter I get bogged down with a little bit of seasonal affective disorder. And yeah, I have done a lot of work to get to a point where I can comfortably navigate these challenges as they come up. So being Men's Mental Health Month, the month of June, I thought it would be fitting to talk about mental health. Now, I have to have a disclosure that I am not in any way, shape, or form a therapist, psychologist, psychiatrist, counselor, anything like that, but I am a life coach. I'm also someone who has spent the better part of my adult life learning how to navigate and deal with the challenges of struggles with mental health. So I'm not providing any specific, medical or therapeutic advice. I'm still going to talk about some things that anybody can do to help balance their mind out, help bring their mental health in an upward direction, shall we say. It's not meant to be therapeutic. It's not meant to replace any professional advice that you might need to get from any of those people that I mentioned. Just being a man in today's society has never been tougher because we're, as a group, frequently subjected to unfair assumptions, shall we say. Unfair prejudices, I don't know. But it's not easy. We're expected to be providers, we're expected to be protectors, we're expected to be many things to many people with very little regard given back to how we feel about anything, particularly how we're doing inside, internally, in our mind, in our heart. And I want to talk about some things that I found particularly helpful for me. Now, if you're feeling suicidal, or if you feel you're a danger to yourself, or if you feel like you're a danger to others, please go get help. I know that sounds like a cliche, but in Canada at least, you can dial or text 888, and you'll be connected to someone right away that can get you moving in the right direction. In the States, there is a suicide prevention line. Elsewhere, or if you just don't feel comfortable with that, if you feel like you're in imminent danger, just go to the nearest hospital, walk in and say, I'm in crisis. That's all you got to do, and they'll take it from there. Okay, moving forward. To prevent you from getting to that point. Yeah. Stress, chronic stress, and pressure and expectations of others can really do a number on a man's well-being, a man's health. And there are simple things that I'm going to talk about tonight. Like the first thing I want to talk about is breathing. You're like, yeah, I got that, I'm still alive. No. I'm talking about deep diaphragmatic breathing with a deep inhale and a prolonged exhale. And we're going to do that right now together. I don't, if you're in your car, or if you're in your computer room by yourself, or you're on your phone somewhere where you got some privacy, it's perfect. But basically, you can do this with your eyes open or eyes closed. I prefer eyes closed, but I'm going to show you a couple different methods. One is just very simple. Breathe in and breathe out very slowly. In, out. In and out. And I'm willing to bet if you took a temperature of your stress before you did those 3 breaths and after, that your stress levels have come down a bit. Another method of breathing that helps. You take a deep breath in, then you force in, you do a little pause, then you force in 2 little more in breaths, and then a long out breath through your mouth. So in through your nose, hold it for a second, take 2 more inhales, like quick little, and then out. So here we go. Breathe in. 2 more inhales. And out. Breathe in. I don't know if you caught it with the microphone, but when I breathed in, I stopped for a second, then 2 quick inhales, and then out. So we'll do it one more time. Okay, how you feeling after that one? I know it's made a difference for me. Okay, third technique for breathing is going to be breathe in, hold for 4 seconds, and then breathe out for at least 7. So we're going to breathe in, 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, and out. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you're going to do it one more time. So you're going to breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold for 4, 2, 3, 4. And then breathe out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I'm going to do it once without any prompts with you, okay? So here we go. So any of these techniques work really good, especially before bed. If you have a mind that races before bed, doing this for a few minutes, any one of these for a few minutes, will help you settle your mind and help you drift off to sleep faster. Now, another thing that you can do for your mental health is a meditation. We're going to do a very simple one together, but I'm going to include in the show notes a great website where you can learn all sorts of meditation techniques, or you can just Google beginner meditation techniques and off you go. But there's a website called udemy.com, and it's a course that I use to break the meditation nut. I think you'll find it useful. Usually you can find it for $14 to $20 on sale on Udemy, but either way, there'll be a link in the show notes for this course. But we're going to do a simple thing called a body scan. And if you want to play along with me here, breathe in. And as you breathe out, become aware of your head, neck, and shoulders. Breathe in again. And as you slowly breathe out, become aware of your arms and your hands. Okay? Now you're going to breathe in again. And as you slowly breathe out, become aware of your chest and back. Breathe in again. And as you slowly breathe out, become aware of what you're resting on and where it makes contact with your body. And breathe in again. And as you breathe out, become aware of your legs, knees, and feet. Okay. And last but not least, breathe in again. And as you breathe out, become aware of your head, all the way down to your toes. And again, you should find that quite relaxing. I know my eyelids felt a little heavy after that one. So yeah, these are things you can practice, learn more about online. I'm not here really to teach them, I'm just here to kind of demonstrate these things that you can do. So those various breathing techniques in a body scan are awesome ways of just calming down, centering, and just kind of getting out of, oh my God, I could do this and do that, and what did that person think of what I said to them today? Like all that stuff flushes because you're just focusing on your body, your mind, your breathing, and it does wonders. Okay. Number 2 on my list of things for your mental health. Social media and mass media. Go on a diet. Go on a fast. Left unchecked, I don't know about you, but I can find myself in any free moment, or particularly like when I'm bored in the evening before bed, get on the phone and scroll. And whether it's YouTube, looking for that thumbnail that catches your attention, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Instagram, whether it's Facebook, or you get caught in some reels, it just, the dopamine, you're searching for the next dopamine hit from whatever you're seeing on your screen. And you become mindless at it, and your thumb just keeps going and going and going. It really doesn't help you. It actually, it really makes you feel ill if you think about it. You have to cut that back. And one of the tips I can give you is, let's just say, yes, you want to go on Facebook and catch up on whatever it is you want to catch up on. Put your phone on a timer for 4 minutes, and you'll be shocked how quickly 4 minutes just goes. Do it for 5, do it for 15. But whatever time you set, you're going to find suddenly that time went away, and you're like, what did I get out of that? The answer is pretty much nothing. You got nothing out of that other than some dopamine hits and mind-numbing waste of time. So my tip for you is, if you can't cut it out cold turkey, set a timer. Watch your screen time use. Consumption of social media, whether it's YouTube videos, whether it's reels, whether it's posts on Facebook or Instagram. I'm probably behind on the times on all the other ones people are using now. Snapchat. Just not... They basically cause you to compare your life to what you're seeing on your screen. And it starts to make you feel bad about your own life, your own accomplishments, and it drains your energy. It drains your energy, your creativity, your well-being. It's just not good for you. So tip number 2 is basically cut back on social media and apps like that as much as possible. In conjunction with that, any app that sends an alert to your phone, turn off the alerts. You don't need to know the second something happens being sent to your phone. You don't need to know the second an Instagram DM comes in, or a Facebook message comes in, or a text comes in. You don't need to know. The world will go on, and you can check it when you set aside your 15 or 20 minutes to catch up on your email, catch up on your texts. You don't need play-by-play, blow-by-blow information. It is not healthy for your mind. Trust me on that one. Okay. Tip number 3. What are you eating and what are you drinking? If you are having sugar in all its various forms, whether it's dried fruits, juice boxes, or juice in general, is absolute crap. The refined sugars and starches and all those ultra-refined foods, crackers and cookies and things that try to pretend to be healthy, like granola bars and anything processed, really not that good for you. Vegetable oils, seed oils, all very, very bad for you. A carbohydrate-rich diet. No. You want a diet that is really much more protein, much less carbs, and the carbs you are getting, you want them to be complex carbohydrates like vegetables, limit yourself to some fruit once in a while, not every time you have a dip in energy. Shouldn't be reaching for an energy source that's high in sugar, especially those energy drinks. They're just not good for you. You want to be drinking water, and lots of it. And you're like, water, I hate water. Okay, learn to love water. Even if you go 1-to-1, like say you're having like a glass of juice, follow it with a glass of water, and start to learn to like water. Adding a pinch of Himalayan salt or sea salt to your water is really good for balancing your electrolytes. You do not need, it rhymes with Aidorade, and all those electrolyte drinks. You really don't need that stuff unless you're like a high endurance or high performance ultra athlete who's training multiple hours a day. Then that's a different story. But for the average person, you do not need that. The average person needs a lot more water, a lot less sugar, a lot less carbonated drinks, caffeinated drinks. If you're relying on caffeine, you got to listen to the next step, number 4, I'm guessing. Number 4, go to bed. Like seriously, get 7 to 8 hours of sleep. You might go, I can't do that. I'm too busy. I'm too this. I'm too that. You have to. If you want to avoid a lot of problems later in life, particularly with your brain, particularly becoming a burden to others, if you want to be more productive and more focused and get rid of the brain fog that's holding you back, you have to get more sleep, quality sleep. That means stopping food 3 hours before bed, stopping liquids 2 hours before bed, stopping any type of screens at least 1 hour before bed. All the artificial light in your house, if you can, invest in some bulbs that dim and dim them down. Like when it's, when the sun's getting ready to go down, you should be turning the brightness of the intensity of your light in your house down to a dull roar, because that's telling your body's rhythm, okay, it's getting dark. I'm starting to slow down, to shut down, and lowering cortisol levels, increasing melatonin levels so that you are ready to go to bed. That's very, very powerful. I can tell you, I went to the extreme of investing in bulbs that I can change colors. I think they're Philips Hue. I have no vested interest in Philips or anything else like that. I basically tell it, okay, after supper, go into relax mode. It makes more orangish red light. There's even a sunset mode you can pick, Georgia sunset. And doing that at least an hour before bed. Usually I do it about 2 hours before bed. In the winter, even sometimes 3. 3 hours before bed, it sets my body to slowly simmer down, so when I go to bed, I can actually fall asleep. So that was number 4, I'm guessing. Number 5. You have to get outside more. Particularly in the northern latitudes, winter, like a lot of us become shut-ins. We go from our house to our vehicle to our job, back to our house, and we want to avoid the outdoors. You have to get outside. It doesn't matter if it's summer, winter, fall, spring. It doesn't matter if the bugs are out. It doesn't matter if it's raining. You have to get outside every day, at least an hour outside. Combine it with walking the dog. Combine it with spending time with your kids. Combine it going out for a walk with your spouse, and talk about whatever's going on. But get outside, preferably if you can get out to a more natural setting, park, in a forest, but even just outside in the urban environment with natural daylight will do wonders for you. It's really, really important to do that as soon as you can in the morning when it's daylight, at lunch, and in the evening as the sun's going down. But even at least once a day for a total of an hour would be awesome for your health, your mental health. Another thing about mental health, number 6. Watch what you're watching, particularly like the news. chances are you don't need to know most of what they're telling you. What are you watching in terms of television shows? What are you watching in terms of movies? Is it all violence? Is it all grim? Is it all negative, turmoil? Try to watch things that are a little more uplifting. Make your home a more uplifting place. Like, have pictures and art that inspire you. Have some fresh cut flowers if you can. Read interesting books. Listen to podcasts on your commute that introduce something new into your life. That's powerful. Number 7? I think we'll wrap it up with number 7. It's important to have real friends. At least one, maybe 2, outside of your immediate family. Like someone who is just someone that will hear what you have to say, maybe mirror it back to you a little bit so you hear what you're saying to them, and vice versa. Do that for them. It's like all those blue zones where there's people living past 100, they all have strong sense of community. They have like villages and tribes, and like you need your tribe of people that like challenge you to face the music, challenge you to step your game up, not to encourage you to crack open that third beer and bitch and moan about things that are never going to change. There's a lot of things that you can change, whether you're living in the city or living on your own out in the country. There's a lot of things that you have control over in your own life that you can take control over. Like, you can set your bedtime, you can set your wake up time, you can decide what you're going to eat more often than not. Like, you can choose healthy, you can choose to avoid junk food, you can choose to avoid alcohol as much as possible, you can choose to avoid refined sugars and juices and energy drinks, and having like 15 cups of coffee if that's what you need to get through your day. Like, and I don't recommend suddenly flipping a switch and trying to do all this all at once, but I've given you 7 things that you could try. Like the breathing. It costs you no money, costs you very little time. Try some breathing exercises before you go to bed tonight. Try it for a week. Try it for a week, and I guarantee you're going to notice a difference. So out back here at Cedar Meadow, we have a long winter here in Northern Ontario. It is challenging. It is hard. There's very little daylight. You're going to work in the dark. You're coming home in the dark. You're doing your chores at home, whether it's shoveling the driveway or the laundry or cleaning the house. Like, chances are you're doing that in the dark. And your weekends have very few precious daylight hours, and even fewer of them are sunlight hours. So it's hard. So I've learned a thing or two about what it takes to get me to cope and thrive in those conditions. And there are times it's hard. You get to choose your heart. That's something I've come across on various podcasts and various social media posts. You have to choose your heart. Being sick and unhealthy is hard. Making the right choices in your diet and being more active is hard too. One you actually feel good about after, the other just makes you miserable in your golden years, turns them into lead years. Do you want golden years? Do you want platinum years? Or do you want lead years? Like, that's where you got to make these choices about being more active versus being a couch potato, about dealing with your stress through a walk and a good meditation session as opposed to cracking open a bottle of lovely red wine. Yes, I am guilty of that from time to time, but I have cut back on that severely. So yeah, those are my tips for the average man during Men's Mental Health Month in the month of May. And again, bear in mind, none of that is professional advice. None of that is meant to replace speaking to your doctor, speaking to your therapist, speaking to a friend. I'm just giving you some tips and tricks and strategies that have worked for me, and you can try them out and see what works for you. All right, I think that's a wrap. This has been Tom for Out Here, Simple Solo Rural. Yeah, I will have another episode out in 2 weeks. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. I appreciate the feedback I've gotten on YouTube. This podcast is now available on Apple. It's available on Spotify. I believe it's on iHeartRadio, Google, Amazon. Yeah, if it's not working in any of those four systems, let me know, please. But yeah, on Spotify you can leave me a comment. On YouTube you can leave me a comment. On YouTube this is in a video format. Everywhere else it's audio. I do welcome comments and suggestions for campfire questions and campfire philosophy. My campfire philosophy tonight is very simple. Challenge yourself to make a change to make you healthier. Because anything you do to improve your health is going to improve your mental health, and vice versa. You improve your mental health, you're going to improve your physical health. But pick one of those 7 and try it out for a week. That's my philosophical advice to you. And yeah, we will catch you in the next one. Thank you so much.